Well, good morning, everyone. Hey, hello. It's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here, follow me on my sewing journey, and I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Good morning, everybody in the chat. I want to know what was going on with the pantyhose incident, Quilt Wench. I was skimming through the chat and I thought, oh, what has happened? Y'all never know what's going to happen at a quilt retreat. People get to chit-chatting and things just come up, right? Too funny, too funny. All right, Frito. Yes, we're going to have a Frito visit. Miss Dottie's here with her head down. She got in trouble for chewing on something she should not have, but she's a puppy, and that's okay. We have to tell her and set boundaries, right? As Caesar says, rules, boundaries, and limitations. All righty. There she is. Hello, baby girl. Look at those ears, y'all. Oh my goodness. You just can't stay mad at her. You cannot. You want your little treat? Good morning. Yeah, you girls. They play NASCAR around my sewing table in here, you guys. It just gets crazy. Oh my goodness. Here you go. There you go. Oh, atta girl. Yep. And let's get our little chew bones and go outside and pester daddy. I think that's a fabulous idea, don't you guys? I think it's great. It's the very first time for you in the Stitchuation room. Where's my welcoming committee? That just flew by. Just a minute, stinker. Hold on a minute. Lisa Childers. Well, welcome, Lisa. We're glad you made the live. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to walk these girls out the door. Let's go. You have to mind your manners, Dottie. Yeah, you do. Come on, out we go. You know the drill. Let's do this. That's yours, and that's yours. Okay. Bye-bye. All right. We're going to close this up. Kids, can y'all see all the toys all over the floor? My goodness. You guys have my life. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Never a dull moment. That's great. Yeah, we've got somebody new here. Let me slide over so you guys can see me. Oh, I got to pull the chat up so I can see what's going on. All right, y'all. It's Giveaway Friday. Yay, Friday. Who wants Midnight Manor? How about this? Here's part of the On Wander Lane series. This is the Halloween Midnight Manor. And U.S. shipping only, please. Hashtag Prim, P-R-I-M, hashtag Prim. There we go. So she said she found Becky's place. Who's this? So I want to thank Lady M for sharing these books to share so I could share them with you. Awesome, awesome. A lot of fun. I love these books. I need to switch my back here. I need to switch that out. That was from July, right? My gosh. Can y'all believe I've been doing this for over 2 years? Isn't that something? I love my job. Love my job. I get to sew every day. I love it. I love it. Hashtag Prim. To get Midnight Manor, U.S. shipping only, please. Okay. Lots to talk to you about today besides sewing a quilt block, which I'm going to do. I am bound and determined to finish Quilted Snowman. I think he's probably about 75% done. A few more blocks to sew all together. So I'm going to continue to work on that. That will not be a UFO. So, okay. To finish up from yesterday, I finished the bear on Enchanted Winter. Look at this, you guys. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness, he is adorbs. Look at that. I did use that new Bro Thread water-soluble topper. You're supposed to put it over the knitted sweater, okay? And I did that. Where's my button? Here it is. Let's get up close. I want to show you guys. It pulled away so clean. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Not a bit left. Look at that. So I did put it in my Amazon store. Bro Thread water-soluble topper. It's called New Bro Thread. I'm not sure who owns that company. I'm not sure, but I like their stabilizers. I like them. They're priced relatively inexpensively comparing most, but it turned out just beautiful. So I did not have any Kimberbell topper. So otherwise I would have used theirs, but make do, right? We got to make do. So I'm very, very pleased with him. He turned out super cute. So next is our penguin. I'm going to make that one. And then after that will be the snowman. And then I think I'll be finished. I'll have all the blocks finished for this. Now, I wanted to show you guys about the trimmer by George. I've had a lot of folks ask about how does it work. Some people are very new to it. We have brand new embroiderers in here. So I will show y'all. I hope I can get this. I hope it'll fit. I brought a mat over. I want to do it here. I don't want to have to get up and walk around. Let me move all my pressing items, including my iron. I'm just going to put them down in this second thing here. But I just want to give you a quick how this works. So if you're doing projects like these, okay, you are supposed to stop the machine. The machine stops after the tack down of the batting and the fabric, okay? And I have so much stuff I got to show you. I'm a hot mess here. It's supposed to stop, and you're supposed to trim after it tacks down the batting, okay? You're supposed to trim away. That worked. You're supposed to pull the hoop, put this, and then take your scissors and trim away the batting around the outside of the tack down stitch. Then when you get finished and you take it out of the hoop, then you have to also trim away the stabilizer away from your block. The trimmer by George, that is proprietary to Hoop Sisters, okay? What it does is it takes away all trimming in the hoop, and you do it after the fact. So that's why I didn't trim away at all. And what I'm going to do, let me turn it this way because I'm right-handed. So the trimmer by George, what did I do with it? It's here. Aha. So it's a piece of acrylic, okay? It doesn't matter whether you have 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0. Doesn't matter. They're all basically the same thing. So it has a metal lip on there. See that? It's an aluminum lip. I say those numbers because some of y'all might find them at estate sales, right? If you see one of these at an estate sale, grab it. Doesn't matter what version it is, okay? So all you have to do, I'm going to zoom you in so you can see. I put new batteries in my button yesterday. Okay. So all you have to do is just pull up the fabric, the pretty fabric, and then leave the stabilizer and the batting. And that lip, that metal lip, okay, with the lip to my left, I'm going to push it up against the seam that's there. All right. And then fold it down. Now, I don't have a great big cutting mat, so I'm going to have to use the scissors on the part I can't get with the rotary cutter. They recommend if you're going to use an Olfa that like this, you use the 60 millimeter and you just trim right next to that. Let me make sure. Oh, I got that. Good. Let me move it up. You just trim right next to that metal edge. So here's your nice, clean piece of scrap. You get a nice, clean, it's not wavy wonky. That's very cool for that because I like to Frankenstable. And then the edge looks like this. Look how clean and pretty that is. This works so well. And if you are going to be doing these kinds of designs, whether it's Kimberbell or Hoop Sisters or Designs by Juju or Anita Good Design, whatever, any OESDs, any of them that have the requirement that you trim something in the hoop, or even if you've got to have some kind of batting behind it, right? I would think. But anyway, you're going to make these kinds of projects. It's absolutely, if you love your trimmer by George, there you go. Let me know. Put it, what's in the kitchen, Scotty dog? Cheryl's asking, what do you got going on in there? And is there any birthday cake in the kitchen? I need something sweet. Quilt retreats always have a virtual kitchen, and ours is virtual. You're in the right place. Y'all, on your way in, hit the thumbs up button if you would be so kind. Okay? Love my trimmer by George. Yeah. This is a game changer in our world because time is money, right? We don't have all day to be doinking around. Plus, it's really easy when you pull your hoop. If you're not doing it on a firm, flat surface to trim, if you make the mistake of like laying your hoop like this on the table, you know, because I see a lot of people do this. Don't do that. Your hooping can get kind of floppy. The more you pull it, you always risk some kind of floppiness where the fabric has pulled and you lose registration. So to just leave it in the hoop the entire stitching time, you're just going to get better results all the way around. Okay. So let's see. Looking at this. So again, the giveaway today is Midnight Manor, part of the On Wander Lane series by Nancy Halverson for Art to Heart. And the winning hashtag is Prim, P-R-I-M. P-R-I-M. I've got links to all this stuff below, Trimmer by George and all that, you guys. Also, there is a new coupon code for Embrilliance. I've got it linked in the description box right at the top below. With the coupon code in there. A lot of you are wanting to get, you know, you've got your stitch artist, you're wanting to do Snapplique with me, and you've got your stitch artist and whatnot, and maybe you want to get enthusiast. Maybe now's the time, okay? So you can do that. Maybe you've got Stitch Artist 2 and you want to upgrade to Stitch Artist 3. Now's the time. Got the coupon code. Good stuff. I got to save my scrap for that. I need to put stuff over here instead of over here because I think I'm going to be ironing later for my snowman. Okay, why hashtag Prim? So today is last day for a thread kit purchase if you are doing the Prim sew along with us. Julie's going to put her order into Riley Blake for the thread kit, not to Riley Blake, to Glide for the thread kit this afternoon. So I want to show you what Prim looks like. I did a sample test stitch. Riley Blake sent me the designs to test out so I could share with you how beautiful they are. I want to get this in here. Okay. You don't see the Bro Thread link. It's in Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. Take a look at this. It turned out so pretty. Okay. Just beautiful. Now, what I did with it is, let me see here. All these, if you see, you know, the little, don't go saying there's a whole bunch of puckers. Y'all, those will quilt out. Okay. They will quilt out. This is just gorgeous. This is the first block, and this was my test stitch. I used no batting in it at all. I'm not going to do it the same way with a Quilt As You Go like I did for Autumn Love. This is going to be done. So they want you to use a heavyweight paper, the tearaway stabilizer. I'm not doing that. I did put SF101 on the back of the background fabric so it can handle those heavy stitches. Okay. And then I used a layer of Juju's Easy Tear. That's it. So when combined SF101 with Easy Tear, you get the same stability as you would with that heavyweight tearaway. I have seen the quilt and felt it in the heavyweight tearaway, and to me, it's just too stiff. But look at the hand on this. This is going to be fine. Okay. You ordered the thread rack. How'd you do that? Are they on the store site? Huh. Awesome. My son didn't tell me there was any ready. So does my no-show mesh melt under the iron if you iron the back of that block? So no-show mesh will shrink. one direction. Okay. And if you're going to put this on here and you intend on washing this, do not use steam on these blocks while you're doing it. I really don't recommend using steam. The instructions on the SF101 from Pellon tell you to, if you're going to wash it, you need to pre-shrink it. And that is to hold your iron over it, you know, just like a half an inch away, and just steam it to death, and it will, right? Get that out of the way before you put it on the back of your fabric. So be sure to do that. And then let it dry completely, get totally cool, and then you can put it on the back of your fabric, okay? So it is a fusible, but it shrinks one way. Why did they do that? I don't know. Don't know. So I did press this last night with it had fewer puckers in it. I pressed it last night with no steam. It didn't have any puckers in it last night. And I pressed it and I said, oh, well, this'll all quilt out. Okay. When you give it a tug, and you can get one of those, there's a pressing, it's a piece of wool is what it is. And it's a pressing cloth. I'll have to find that. I have it here. I got to look at it and see who manufactures that thing. But I love this. This turned out just absolutely gorgeous. And also different than Autumn Love is there is background fabric all the way around these designs. There's no heavy stitching seams in the seam allowances. No heavy stitching, satin stitches in the seam allowance. Not on these blocks. I haven't tested the border blocks. Okay, talked about that. Good. OESD for the pressing cloth. Yeah, I love that. It is amazing, Marge. Oh, Marge won didn't you win on your shop hop? Is that what I saw? I do read y'all's comments in the chat before we get going. So very good. Congratulations. She won a $100 gift certificate and a basket of goodies. How about that? Not bad. Okie doke. Tracy says she wants to make this without the quilt as you go and not sure how you would do the quilting when complete. Any suggestions? So I think I'm going to do an all over quilting and just go right over the embroidery. I did it with How to Build a Scarecrow quilt from Lori Holt, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm going to do the same thing because I'm not a custom quilter. It is beyond my ability to do all of this, right? So I'm going to put it on my long arm and I'm just going to edge to edge it. That is the plan. That is absolutely the plan, I think. And I'm not sure, but I don't know. All right. I think the all over quilting will be good too, Newligan. I really do. If you're going to do all over quilting, and I know quilt police will go, oh, scandal. So I have seen quilts in Houston that have all over quilting. Granted, they were in a booth, not in the quilt showroom, but it was a sample that was up and it was absolutely adorable. And they had done all over quilting, all over the applique and the embroidery that was on there. You would use a color like the color of my background fabric. That's a shabby, okay? And when you use a color like that, it won't be seen. It's not going to scream at you through any of this stitching. It just won't. It doesn't on my Quilted Scarecrow. So that's what I did. It's like a cream color, but not light cream. It's a medium cream. Beautiful. Turned out just beautiful. Let's see. Linda says, can you do this the same way as doing Enchanted Winter block by block? So you can. Quilt Wench is in charge. She's in charge of our hospitality welcoming committee. So you can. I'm not going to. Okay. So it's going to have the all around. I think it's going to have that all around basting stitch, And you could leave that in and use that as a stitch guide, I imagine. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it, but see, the only reason I would do quilt as you go is if you've got background quilting to put with it. Really, so that each block has its own set of background quilting behind the embroidery. And you could certainly do that with clear blue tiles or any background quilting that might be in your embroidery machine. You might do that, but you're going to have to use batting on it then too. Otherwise, the quilting won't be seen. I just think, I don't know, then stitch in the ditch. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm getting to the point with my hands, you guys, where stitching in the ditch is, or putting those tiles together with Quilt As You Go, my hands are not liking it. All right. Margie, it's Prim, P-R-I-M. Y'all check your hashtags, okay? U.S. shipping only, please. Okay, so that's about Prim. And I'm going to show you, let me show you the quilt. I didn't have it queued up. Hold on a second. I wanted to show you the quilt for those of you that are like, what's Prim? So Prim was a fabric line, is a fabric line from Lori Holt, who's like a queen in the quilting world of patterns and fabric design and all of that. So let me show you what that quilt looks like. And I have a link to it right below in the description box. I'm going to show you the screen here. So if you want to do this, okay, so that's Autumn Love. That one, that we're wrapping that one up, okay? Here is the pre-order for the machine quilting. This is just the USB with the embroidery designs, all right? And then here are rulers if you want them. You can get those in various sizes. That's a pre-order. Here is the glide thread kit. Okay, she's given us a discount because you're my peeps. So here's the glide thread kit. And then here is, oh, I'm sorry, this is the USB right here. And here is 108 wide backing fabric. And then this is the fabric kit. So let's open this up. And it's just so stinking sweet, you guys. Oh my goodness. So here's that block that I just made. And it turned out lovely. Absolutely lovely. I'm wondering if in these, so these are quilted. I don't know if these are pieced or quilted. I got to look at the, I didn't look at the pattern on those. I was just looking at this one. But look at that sheep, you guys. Oh my gosh. And he's so cute. Little bird on him. And there's the cat, right? Adorbs. Just adorbs. So that is Prim. Those begin shipping in November. So that's just next month. So she's ordering the glide thread kits today. So I just want to let you know. All righty. I got in patterns from Villa Rosa Designs. Y'all, Villa Rosa Designs is owned by a wonderful, sweet lady. Her name is Pat Fryer. And I've talked to her on the phone before I met her. And then I've met her many times at quilt festivals. She always has been going to them. And she's in her mid to late 80s, I think. And so she is selling her company, or has sold her company to there's a family. It's a mom, I believe, is Tamara. And then there's Heidi. And do I have a pattern in here from the other one? I can't remember. Is it Amanda? The Cook family. And they have been pattern designing for mom is Tamara, and then the two daughters, Heidi and I can't remember the other one's name. I apologize if you're watching. Sorry. They have been designing patterns with her for years. And I have met these girls in person, got pictures with them and everything at shows. Molly, thank you. Heidi and Molly, thank you, Quilt Wench. So, yeah, they've been doing that with her for years. And so they're very familiar with the business. And they're out of California. And so I want to wish Pat Fryer a wonderful retirement. And you guys can continue to get your pattern cards. These are those 4x6 pattern cards you see in the quilt shops all the time. So this, they have a club that you can get into. It's $8.95 a month, free shipping. And you get 5 patterns. And if you subscribe, I think it's an extra $1.75 each. It's auto charged to your credit card if there is a table runner pattern that month. So sometimes you get 5, sometimes you get 6, sometimes you get 7. It just depends on what they've designed. So the first one is Gabriella. Gabriella, let me zoom in so you can see it. Okay. Gabriella finishes at 41 by 54. It uses 9 fat quarters and 1 contrasting fat quarter. You guys, the fabrics that are used in these pictures, I can't ever make heads or tails out of them. So I'm going to show you the back. There's the, let me get it so you can see. There is the quilt. It looks like it has some friendship stars running through it. Okay. So that's what that is. They have Phyllis. Now, Running Dough Quilts is a designer for Villa Rosa Designs. Okay. So there, that's a cute one with the stars. This one finishes at 49.5 by 66. And it uses a focal fabric, 1 yard. It uses yardage. Okay. And here is the diagram on the back right there. Very nice. And the next one is for panels. This is by Heidi Cook. It's called Maple Syrup. That's cute. It finishes at 57 by 76. It's a nice long quilt, and it uses a panel and 10 fat quarters. Very nice. Oh, nice. Marina, that's nice. Let's see. Thank you for introducing us to Villa Rosa. You used one of their designs and it saved your crooked panel from going in the trash. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so you can use, like this one uses pieces. You can see that wooded fabric. It uses pieces of the panel throughout. Very nice. Next is Enchanted Forest. This finishes at 55 by 66. And it uses yardage for the trees and trunks for the background, of course. Nice. Very cute. Okay. Very cute. The next is Fenimore. This is a perfect quilt for a tween. Main fabric, this uses 10-inch squares. If you've got a layer cake laying around, you don't know what to do with it, or it uses 16 fat quarters. It uses 48 10-inch squares. So you need a layer cake and then some. Cindy, thank you for joining our membership. You are welcome to join us. Okay, and that finishes at 57 by 72. Speaking of the membership, below in the description box, I think it's in the Around My Sewing Room section. I put a link to my members only videos. Some of you are having trouble finding them, so I wanted to put a link there where you can find them. Okay. And then the last one is Boscobel. And it uses a main fabric and yardage, whatever that main fabric, I guess that's the background, right? And it finishes at 31 by 35. This is a cute little baby quilt. Okay, cute little baby quilt. All right. So yeah, Villa Rosa Design, oh, back too close. There we go. Villa Rosa Designs are a great option for beginner quilters. They have loads and loads of patterns, none in this group, but I showed some last month that don't have diagonal seams. So you can make adorable quilts with no bias cuts, which, you know, if you're a beginner quilter, I suggest you stick with straight cuts to start with until you get pretty comfortable with your 1/4 inch seam. That's really important. Okay. And then next. I don't need this anymore. I got some samples from Fabric Confetti, and I got to show you these things. These are so cute. I don't make, for the ones I don't make, Vanessa Fromm, I've met her many times over in Tempe, Arizona. That's where she lives. She and Bruce Allen from Bruce Allen Designs have a partnership for Fabric Confetti. These are for you machine embroiderers. So we have some holiday stuff coming up. I got to show you guys this. This is just so stinking cute. Look at this. Adorable. Look how cute that little runner is. Okay, this is the pattern, 'Tis the Season banner and mug rugs. So you get all of these designs in the 'Tis the Season banner and mug rugs. Just so cute. Look at that. The digitizing in this, it comes with the background quilting. The digitizing in this is amazing. She's such a great digitizer. Vanessa is. Love, love, love. I have a link to them below. And I think that link is a sale, 10%, I think. Got to get it in your cart. Pretty sure. I'll have to double check that, but I thought I did that. Here is the mug rug. I like the edge stitching around this. I really do. And then it is an envelope back. Very cute. Okay, store name, Fabric Confetti. I have a link to it below in the description box. If you click that, it'll take you right there. That's my link, and I appreciate you using my links. The next thing she's got is from her pattern, Holiday Prickly Bloom Cards. So Southwesty, because she lives in Arizona, right? So stinking cute. So cute. And here they are. And she's got it done up in a little sample thing. This is just adorable. So look at how those stitch out. So cute. Can I get this open? I cannot. I can't get it open. But look at this. Let me zoom you in. Look at the stitching on this. Isn't that adorable? Just so digitized, so pretty. This is for greeting cards, you guys. This is for greeting cards. Very, very nice. I love it. Super cute. Super, super cute. Love it, love it, love it. So now's the time to get these and get going for your holiday stuff. This is just so pretty. I love it. And this, let's see, it's also done. She also did it with an envelope back. See? Adorable. Just adorable. Okay. I think I might have to do that. I know, I'm like, oh, squirrel. Another project. Yay. And all right. So let me double check and make sure the giveaway tool is working. Yes, 612 entries. Fabulous. Let me see. I already told you about Embrilliance, 10% off. The members only vids. There's a link below in the description box. The Prim sample I told you about. Oh, Hot Fix adhesive. Mentioned it yesterday. Those of you that want to get any Hot Fix adhesive, you get it from hotfixadhesive.com, not Amazon. Okay, I've changed my link to hotfixadhesive.com. I've got this below as well. If you use the coupon code POWER, P-O-W-E-R, you get 10% off. That's exclusive for my viewers. You will not get it cheaper anywhere else. So if you're in the need, okay? All righty. So today the giveaway again is Midnight Manor, part of the On Wander Lanes series from Nancy Halverson for Art to Heart. Look at that Happy Halloween. Isn't that cute? That little, is that upside down? No, the vampire's upside down. That's what that is. Adorable. This is so cute. I need to make another thing out of this. I've done the bat. I did the boo. There's another one I'm sure I can do. Oh, let's hang out. I need to make that. Maybe we'll make that next week. Let's hang out. That's a cute one. Thank you, Dee Dee Ray. Yeah, you guys hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. Thank you. I got to keep you guys up because we have quilt deserts now and you guys don't know what's going on, right? Okay. Had a lady email me yesterday and she says, please tell me, she said, I'm drowning in paper. Please tell me how you email yourself the instructions for designs, for embroidery designs or quilt, whatever. If you have to download an instruction, a PDF for instructions on, steps, right? Well, a lot of times what I do is I'll put it in my drafts. Well, I'll create an email, okay? And it's from me and I make it to me. I'll put a to in there and then I'll just I'll title the email DBJJ potholders, okay? And then not delete it, but I'll just leave it. And I go to the paperclip and I attach from my downloads, I attach the instructions and then I just leave it sit. I don't send it to anybody. And what that does, it doesn't clog up the email with ginormous pictures, megabytes, right? It sits in my drafts. And then I can open up my email on my tablet and go to my drafts and there it is. Now, another lady, and I'd show you how to do that, but I don't want you to see my personal email. It's all sewing stuff. It's fine. So another thing is you can save. So when you get it, you might have it in your files, right? You can share it. And the share on an iPad is that box with an up arrow. Okay, you can share it. So I wanted to open it up I think I saved it to my files. And when you're looking at an iPad, okay, your files is right here, okay? So I'm going to tap the files. And I had, let's see, recents, not recents. No, it's in my downloads is where it should be. That didn't work. Why didn't it work? Where's my downloads? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting used to this thing, you guys. I've been an Android user forever and ever and ever. So, okay, my downloads. All right. So in my recents, I'm going to go to browse and I am looking for, why can't I find my downloads? Did I move it? I'm in my downloads, right. And that's going to be where the zip file is. Anyway, y'all, this is not working the way I wanted to at all. I had it. It was so cool. I share it with the Books app. That's what I do. That's where I'm going, and I'm not doing it right now. I understand how you guys get very frustrated with this. So you just get the PDF, not the zip file. You have to extract it out of the zip file, and then you get the PDF, and you hit the share button, which is the square with the up arrow. And it says you want to send it to a text message or an email or whatever, and go to apps and find the books. And books is that orange with an open book on it. And I don't have any books in my library, but I do have a document in there, and that is the Design by Juju. You can share it in notes too, yes. Well, if your desktop, so Janet opens it in her desktop and leaves it there, and that's fine if your sewing machine is there and you can see that far. So the idea is to put it into a tablet or a smaller device of some sort, okay? And then take your tablet over to your sewing machine, other way, and there it is. And you don't have to, okay, print a thing. Save a tree, y'all, and your ink. They plant plenty of trees. It's the ink that's costing us. So anyway, you can save it in notes. You can save it in books. Either way. That's how I do it. Okay. I think that's all I had to talk to you guys about. I think. Okay. Hashtag Prim. You can also save there you go. That's what I was going at. Save it into books. You copy and paste the PDF into a file folder in iCloud. There's a lot of different ways to be able to move that document around so that you can access it from another location. So the tablet I have over by my Luminaire is a Windows Surface. So it's not an iPad. This is an iPad. I have to do both. So my Windows, if I'm going to open it in my Surface tablet, I save it in my drafts. I save that draft in my email. Okay. Will the book app work on an Android? No, but I believe an Android tablet has a function. I mean, you could just save it in your file folders on an Android. You certainly can. Linda says, I never thought to save my PDFs in books. Yeah, I've seen that from here. You guys gave me that idea. So, yep. Newligan saves it in her MacBook Air and sets it by the machine. Absolutely. That's going to save you guys money because you need your money for fabric, right? Yes. Awesome, awesome. If you're watching that tip alone, right? I just saved you something. Give me a thumbs up, a like if you have not already, and subscribe. That's always fun to do. Okay. I am ready to do this block. This block is from the Quilted Snowman. This is it right here. This is an adorable. I don't know if Midge is in here this morning. She got, yeah, Vicky, I'm with you. Vicky says, I'm eating with bread. She won second place on her Quilted Snowman in her local show. Congratulations, Midge. She called it the background fabric from you know where because it's directional, but it looks like it just does not matter. Midge says, I'm here, I'm here. That's awesome. Yeah. Is there a discount with Fabric Confetti using my link? I think there is. I've got to double check that, but the link below, put something into your cart and then make like you're going to go check out and there might be a discount. Okay. Books does not allow you to move or copy multiple docs. Well, you'll always have it in your email if you ever need to access it again, right? You'll always have that. Oh, one other thing. Fabric sale. I don't have a link to this. Fabric sale at my girlfriend's quilt shop. Look how cute that is. I got a couple of yards for any Christmas projects, but especially bindings. You can't go wrong. So, yeah. You hate it when people, Susan, I hate it when people don't pay attention to directional fabric. So kudos to her. I'll tell you, Susan, the directions in the pattern do not lend themselves to all of that fabric going the right way. They don't. They should, but they don't. So when you've got directional fabric like this, yes, you want to pay attention to it. It's got a little man on there. I don't know if you can see it. See a little gingerbread man? There, that's focused. So that's directional, and it's easy to pay attention to that, okay? But the background fabric did not always provide, look at this, did not always provide correct cutting instructions so that when it was stitched in the quilt, it was the same direction. It's a challenge. This quilt is a challenge. So I try as I might, and it totally depends on my attitude that day. Because if I've had it, I'm leaving it. And I have several blocks that have that in there, and I'm not taking them apart. I absolutely refuse. I'm just not going to do it. Because in the grand scheme of things, you know, I'll probably donate this quilt for an auction, and the person who gets it won't know anyway. So, yeah, I don't like it when people don't match plaids either, Carol. So to match a plaid, I'll give you a little tip. Cut it one piece at a time, face up. one piece at a time, face up. And you've got to match those plaids. If you're doing a shirt or something, I know exactly what you're talking about. Is there a meet and greet at Mull Queens? No, we don't have one set up. You know, maybe I could set one up. No, because class starts at like 9 or 10 in the morning on Friday and Saturday. And then I'm flying home Sunday morning. Thursday's a family day for me. I have family in Tempe. My brother-in-law and his 9 kids and 14 grands. And it's always chaos, not even controlled chaos. It's chaos. Nutso. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. All righty. I'm just going to get to stitching this. Now on these blocks, these are, you know, these have diagonals. I did make it a point to get those directional background pieces correct. And if they weren't correct, I did fix them because that's just how they were turned. Okay. And it was my fault if it was wrong. But if it's the pattern's fault it's wrong, so be it. And I don't catch it, you know, in time, I'm not going to waste fabric. I know Midge did. Midge went back and recut a lot. I'm not doing that. So, all righty. I need my little piece with my little snowball. That's a snowball. Okay. All righty. Good afternoon, Betty Boop. Thanks for joining us. Wandering in late. Did you bring breakfast tacos? You know the rule. Meet and greet at Maitland. Yeah, I think we can do that, Sailing. Absolutely. I think we can do that. That's a snapplique class that I'm teaching near Orlando in Maitland at the sewing studio. So yeah, I'm going to be there a day early too. Yeah, we can probably do that. She says, I wish. Okay. I need piece I and piece B. Piece I. So here we go. Is that right? Oh no, I need a piece J first. Okay. Piece J to go on the sides of this. Now I did try to make sure as well that the words fabrics were correct. I tried very hard to pay attention to all this. This is from the Quilted Snowman by Lori Holt. And this is an adorable quilt. This is the only snow I will see this year, I promise. Well, probably not, I promise. I live in deep South Texas, you guys. It is October 24th. And it is going to be 92 today. It was 70 this morning when I went outside. Yeah, I think we'll do the meet and greet. I'm pretty sure we can do that. No problemo. Oh, when I do my quilting instructions with you guys, I tell y'all a lot about, you know, how sometimes things don't match. Look here. This piece, I've got to stitch it to the side of this snowball block. Look how much, you can see it. See how much fabric is below that? Okay, it's hanging out from the bottom. Don't trim it. So when you're going to be stitching something like this, where I'm stitching an on grain, this piece is on grain because it's a woven, right? This piece, these corners are cut on the bias. And when you cut on the bias, just as I was mentioning with the Villa Rosa Designs patterns, you get wonky. It doesn't matter. Usually you can make it work. I've given you lots of tips and tricks on how to make it work. But when you're trying to sew a straight woven to a piece that is cut on the bias, I'm assuming your cutting is accurate. You need to make the bias piece fit to the woven. That is, in this case, when I say maintain the integrity of the base shape, this piece is correct. This piece is not. So we baggy on bottom, all right? And I'm going to let the feed dogs ease that in. So I'm going to make my corners. That one's correct. And now this one's correct. Now, how do I know where I'm going to hit that? Because if I put baggy on bottom, I'm going to let the feed dogs ease in that bit. See this? I got a gap, right? So if I put baggy on bottom, I need to find where that piece is. I'm going to trust, am I going to trust my 1/4 inch seam? Let me look. I'm going to okay. The way it has to go on this side and this side. Okay. The way my seam allowances are ironed, I can't see where those points cross. So what I do is I will take a pin and I'm going to put the pin in from the front exactly on those where that point is. I don't want to tip that yellow. And I'm going to take a friction marker. I don't like friction pens. This is a friction marker, totally different ink, okay? Totally different ink than the pen. I don't care for the pens. And I'm going to, where the pin came out, I'm going to make a little dot. That's where I need to sew. I'm going to do it for both of these because I don't want to sew blind. If your piece is bigger than it needs to be. I don't have a 1/4 inch on this one, either one of them. That's why, probably. Look at that. So I don't have a 1/4 inch on either one of those. Not quite. That's okay. Ain't no thing. Did I do that right? No, I didn't do that right. I did that on the wrong side. I'm going to leave those there. Well, they'll iron out. Not a big deal. I've put this on the sides. I'm going to put my 2 pins where those points are. So I have pins in the points. Yes, the friction markers are in my Amazon store. I will tell you guys, the orange one ghosts. And by ghost, I mean you iron over it and there's something in the yellow dye that is in that orange marker that will leave a white mark. So be careful of that. But the darker cut, the black, I don't know, and then a sew line for dark fabrics if you want to do that. Okay. So now I have my marks on the correct edge of fabric. I did it on the wrong edge. And I need to get this done because we're fixing to be finished here. Okay, so now I'm going to make these points match exactly. Put this pin, top and bottom points are going to match exactly. Y'all don't wing this. You won't be happy. You'll blunt your tips and you'll be like, Okay, again, there we go. There's the gap. I've got that. Okay, here we are. And in cold temperatures especially. Oh, I got the wrong foot on here. I was doing, you're in suspense. Terry says, I want to see how this works. I was doing the binding for that table mat that I made this week from that fall runner, or the fall panel. Put this back in here. Okay. Let me get this. Oh, we had a discussion the other day about Konas, Robert Kaufman Konas, and I got the full story on that. So Missouri Star bought Kaufman Fabrics. That's what that's about. So they're still available and will be available. But I imagine with a lot of quilt stores, whatever supply they have on hand, once it's gone, is gone. Let me zoom you in because Missouri Star is their competitor. The machine I'm using, my friend, is the Brother PQ 1500. This is an old one, the 1600. Oh, I forgot the second half of this. Now, making sure the edges are the same, where that mark is on this side, I'm going to put a pin through it here. Put a pin here. So I've marked it from the front to the back, and now I'm marking it from the back to the front. And I'm going to do this again. That's how I do that. Yeah, so Missouri Star, 3 of the 4 board members of Robert Kaufman Fabrics are family members of the Doan family for Missouri Star. And then the 4th member is Ken Kaufman, the son of Robert. So I got that, found that out. Okay. All right, here we go. This is going to work. I'm bound and determined. But it's most important that you don't tip your... Now, I came in a little bit because I didn't have a perfect 1/4 inch seam, but I start with a perfect 1/4 inch seam and I end with a perfect 1/4 inch seam. You want to be sure to do that because these are on the bias. You can make them work to your will. And I don't know why my trimmer is not behaving. And you will get perfect points on your ta-da. Okay. All right. There we go. A free workstation. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you do that. It's an extra several steps, right? But it turns out beautiful. And now the block is the right size. My snowball block is the right size. It turned out just perfect. See? Worth the extra steps. Thank you, Hope. She says, great job. Worth the extra steps. Okay? This is the way. That's right. And when it turns out like that, I'm encouraged to keep going. So you're welcome for the tip. So what did I do? I took 2 pins, stuck them in at the points right where everything meets, made a mark on the back where the point came out, where the pin came out, and then I put the fabric on, pinned my ends together, and put another pin in where the point sometimes you can see the lines where they cross on the stitching. That's not always accurate because things fold, right? And then I went back in from this direction through both pieces of fabric and marked those, and those are my sewing target lines. That's how that works. So this one's even worse. Yeah, same. Look at that. Look how much extra fabric is there. You were told that Kona sold at Joann. What? No. Yeah, Kona was sold at Joann's. Kona sold at Hobby Lobby. Okay. But now, well, so I asked Google if Kona was bought by Missouri Star, and it said no. Robert Kaufman Fabrics was bought by Missouri Star. So those quilt shops that are carrying Kona cottons, the solids are really maybe any Kaufman fabrics, right? That may be an issue. All right. Our time is up. Last call, you guys, for #Prim. We start Prim soon. It is shipping. We are, what did I do with my book, you guys? U.S. shipping only, please. Okay. Midnight Manor for Art to Heart. I love Bella Solids, Chris. I do too. I love me some Bella Solids. All right. Let's do the giveaway. Let me make sure this is picking it up. Yes, 769s. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to share this. Okay, ready, set, draw. We'll see how this goes. And all right. Bobby Maycock. Congratulations, Bobby. Yay, good for you. Oh, it hasn't stopped and I just announced it. Sorry. Good for you, Bobby. Sent me an email, powertoolswiththread at outlook.com. Powertoolswiththread at outlook.com. And tell me where you want me to send this. Happy to do that. You must email me within 24 hours or I will choose the person who was before you in the spinner. Okay, so that's wonderful. Congratulations, Bobby. All right. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Consider joining our members only videos. I've got one more video to put out. You only get one a month, but this month you got 4 because I went baby steps on how to do snap-applique. Oh, you got 5. I did one in Brilliance as well. So, you know, extra is always nice, but one is promised per month. All right. Have a fabulous weekend. You guys get into your sewing rooms, set your watch for 20 or 30 minutes and just get something done. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. I love y'all. Go sew something. Bye.